Arete came out with earnings this evening. They missed considerably. Square is up $5 on their earnings miss. We'll explain why. Meli beat on earnings and revenues, up $50 after hours. You'll note coming straight across the trend line today on the S&P. Look how we just hung right in there. And we've just been riding this trend line for some time. You can see here again, this is classic what we're seeing. We're seeing this backfill. If you go back to this November, December, this is where everybody was expecting the rejection again. Comes down, rides this trend line, and then starts moving its way back. We could very well see something like that here today. Now, GDP came out at 2.9% was the estimate for GDP. We came in at 2.7, so we came in a little lower. The nice thing about that, it wasn't too high and it wasn't way too low. It's right where it needs to be for them to kind of have this, quote, soft landing. Now, what I want to focus on is just this core level. If you look at the S&P, and you look at the 3980 area, I'm going to strongly suggest that you watch this area tomorrow. You can see the battle that's been going on here, right? You can see it straight here on Wednesday. You can see it here on Thursday. When you got here, you respected it, acted here until it didn't act and flipped, gap filled. And you can see the push. You can see the breakout right here. We can actually go all the way back to November from when this started. Let me see the gaps, the resistance, the support. So this is a critical level. There's a lot going on here with the S&P, and I think we should talk about it. So you have come right down to the green simple moving average, which is the 55, and you keep holding it. What else is there? That is the 3980 level. So we have two pieces of support right here. We have our trend line, support and resistance line, and you have the the 55 SMA sitting right here. Now, on top of that, right under it, we have 3940, which is the 200. I would not rule this out that you're holding here. I would not forget that you have a golden cross here, and it's significant. And if you don't think it's significant, you should go through and look at the past 20 years on a daily chart of the S&P. Comment on the colors. You can see that they are green and red this evening. I like them. And what I do is outline them in black. We've been having black bars in here. I think I'm going to go back to the green because of the contrast, but just comment on it. Let me know what you think. I think I'm getting pretty dialed in here with the charts, but I'm starting to like going back to the green with the black outline. Anyway, you can see our levels right in here on the dollar. You can see our death cross on the dollar and how we are getting above that key level. You can see the three soldier pattern we talked about in the newsletter about 2 weeks ago. Link in description to get the newsletter. It's free. What this means if you have a death cross here is that this level can be resistance. This is your 200-day moving average. For context, here's the S&P and a death cross. Now, during that cross, what you can see is the 200 up here became resistance until we flipped, broke out, and got a golden cross. Now, I'm pointing this out because I'm expecting the same thing to happen here. Can I tell you with any level of certainty that's definitely going to happen? No, I cannot. I can just very simply tell you that that is how I'm viewing the world. Meli beat 325, 240 was the estimate, absolute crush. The revenues were up, but the beat was way more substantial than the revenue increase. You can see that pretty clearly right here, beating by 35%, which is just absolutely huge. So we're seeing the stock act well after hours. Right now we're at 1190 from an 1136. This is a Wall Street favorite, and I would expect it to act well tomorrow. Now, one of the things I walk through and we talk about in the Off the Chasers community all the time is watching that first 15-minute bar. See how you're unable to get above that bar when you're unable to get below it? This becomes your range. So 1134 and 1207 are going to be my levels I'm going to watch tomorrow. This is very similar to what we did here. So we had multiple entries on NVIDIA last night, but once we get up and over that 15-minute bar, you can see you're just riding the wave, and then you just kind of glide it up. Now, one of the things I like to do is buy around 8 o'clock, and then you can sell early in the morning. This worked really well doing that. And then obviously you can see the move that we had, but we never pulled back. Usually when you get over here, you've taken out all the algos, you've taken out all the high frequency traders, and then you start seeing where the real price demand or supply is. Demand if we push, supply if we break. So if you're interested in Meli, you're going to watch that tomorrow, and I'd watch those levels. To show you how significant these levels actually are in the first 15 minutes, here is coin. And you can see right up here, 66.83. Look at the absolute Matumbo rejection right there. Look at our level right here, that 57.65, and look at how we held support right in there. 15-minute bars after earnings, pay attention to them. Now, what Square did was pretty fascinating. They came out and you can see the miss. But after they lost money, when they weren't supposed to lose money, everybody thought that the stock was going to get absolutely destroyed. Well, during this drop, they announced that they're going to be EBITDA positive to $1.3 billion in fiscal 2023. That is the reversal and absolute decimation of people that were short. This is why it's so important for you to understand where these levels are and the significance of those. You can see the first 15 minutes and how it defined and how we're trading perfectly on this. Now, at the time of filming this, I did not have the conference call, but these are my levels. And I do believe that if everything goes well, you can get back to 90. I don't think you're getting to 90 today, but I also did not expect us to get to my target today, which was up here at 239 on the video. So you really don't know how these are going to go. What you want to do is just make sure that you have a position in place, and then you want to make sure that you have an entire process in place when you're doing this. So you're going to want to watch this tomorrow on the video. These would be the levels that I would look for: 90, 10, 83, and I'd want to watch those 15-minute levels that are marked off right there. I definitely would want to be paying attention to those 4 levels. You can even screenshot this for tomorrow. CVNA came out with earnings. We were supposed to lose $2.17. We lost $7.61. On the revenue side, with the estimate $3.06 billion, coming in at $2.83 billion. 7% decline in revenue and an absolutely huge miss on the earnings side. If you take one thing away from the conference call this evening, retail units sold are down 23% year over year. To call this a dumpster fire is an embarrassment to dumpster fires. Stock is trading right around where it closed, down about 10 cents. The way that this usually works is the shorts will step in tomorrow and possibly cover, and that'll provide another opportunity to put a short position on. I want to be really clear. This is a company-specific problem. This is AutoNation. AutoNation beat on the revenue side, beat on the earnings side. If you're ever interested in a pair trade, one might be to go long AutoNation and then short Carvana against it. To really hammer this home, this is the Manheim Used Vehicle Index. You can see how we actually undercut and now are rallying. AutoNation benefited from this. Carvana could not figure it out. I'm considering creating more educational content. So if you could put in the comments below what exact educational content you'd want to see. I've been kicking around the idea of just putting together an entire course, like several parts of a course, a day trading course. I've been kicking around doing some on the mental aspects of trading, which I think are frankly very limited in what people are going over. So let me know what you're interested in and what you think would really be helpful to people, especially newer traders. I think that would be really good if you could give me some feedback on that going forward. Everybody have a great evening.